happening to me? Where am I? It just got more complicated. I don't want us to be a secret anymore. I'm tired of being just the other girl.
You can't. Not yet. You know how jealous and obsessed she gets. Besides, you remember the time Sandra posted all those nude pictures of the girl just because I was studying with her? We were doing a project together. And the poor girl, she had to transfer.
I know, but every time you escape it, and I'm tired of living a lie. I can't admit that I have a boyfriend or introduce you to my friends. And sometimes I feel like I'm just another fling.
Why would you even think of that? I love you, and I would go to any extent to prove that to you. You're the most beautiful and passionate girl that I've ever known.
Then you should confront the situation. You guys are coming over this weekend, and I want it to be the last weekend with our secret.
Okay.
If you don't tell her, then I will.
Okay.
No matter what the consequences are.
Okay. I'll just don't be too hasty. I'll think of something.
About time you guys showed up.
Well, we would have been here sooner if traffic wasn't so horrible. It was like sitting through 3 hours of my employees bickering. Ugh.
So what happened to you?
Oh, I guess I spilled while making the margarita spritzers. I'll go get them.
Let me help you out.
So, I heard you guys just bought a new house. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's been interesting. You know, I think Justin has something he doesn't want me to know.
Justin can be like that sometimes, but I'd like to think he's getting better at it. Which one do you like better?
The blue one. So, what have you been up to, huh? What does Christine do nowadays?
Not much. I'm just excited to have you guys over.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to talk to me about? Anything?
No, nothing. Just the usual stuff.
That's disappointing. It's always nice to know what you're up to.
Where'd Sandra go?
I think she's gone to the restroom. She spends more time in there fixing herself than she does caring about other people.
I'm sorry I left you all alone.
It's fine. Sometimes it's more convenient to be alone at times. You don't have to hide secrets when you're all alone.
I'll go get the drinks.
So how did the charity ball go for your nonprofit?
Oh, it was great actually. A lot of people made donations. You know, people are not as selfish as we like to think.
Oh, sweetie, don't be naive. Everyone's selfish.
Well then, how do you explain selfless acts of kindness?
There's no such thing as a selfless act. People do nice things because it makes them feel better about themselves.
That's a feeble argument. A courageous act of sacrifice for someone you care about is not the same as getting high or drunk for pleasure. You know that virtue of selfishness, where your own happiness is the highest moral aim? That's a bullshit philosophy. We don't need more philosophies advocating selfishness.
I think you have a valid point.
And if you believe that no selfless acts exist, then why did you help your uncle? After his bankruptcy, you said you never liked him anyway.
Look, he is my family. I always protect what's mine. If anything threatens that, I will do what's necessary.
Even an altruistic act?
Look, I can't help that the loser can't get his life together.
Why are you not more forgiving towards people?
Forgiving? Why should I be forgiving? The world's never been forgiving towards me.
You say that as if nothing good has ever happened to you.
Anything good that happens only has one intention: to leave. Every year, thousands go missing. Loved ones die. Children are abused. Spouses cheat. Friends betray. The world is too cruel. If you want to survive, you have to be selfish. Moreover,
I recently had this case where a clerk, she worked a mundane job her whole life, and she was willing to be homeless rather than give up her principles. Maybe she was just a nobody to the world, but in the grand scheme of things, aren't we all? The strength in her convictions really inspired me.
to me, it sounds like she couldn't stand up for herself and decided to take the easy way out. In my opinion, these inferior types don't really deserve to have a life.
You should realize that every life is valuable.
Valuable means having value, and value tends to differ.
Since you care so deeply about the well-being of the world, let's assume that if you did this one thing, the world would attain peace and order for eternity. Okay? So how far would you be willing to go to accomplish this? Let's take the case of torturing a bomber to get to the location of the bomb. Would you be willing to torture a human being to save thousands of lives?
No.
Is that justified?
No. Everything is not fair in love and war. The means are just as important as the outcome. You should always stick to your beliefs. Torture should not be used as a way to extract information.
So you will be willing to let thousands of innocent people die just to save the bad guy?
What if it was one good guy trying to kill thousands of terrorists?
Well, then the situation changes.
That's the thing. You depend on the circumstances. My standpoint stays. I am loyal. Without these principles, we would just be another species fighting for survival and passing life with no sense of consciousness. I regret the things I've done in the past, but I will no longer break my principles. Have either of you guys seen Sophie's Choice?
I've heard of it.
I've read the book, haven't seen the movie. Why ask?
It's still a bit haunting to me to have to decide between two people you love and choose which one lives and which one dies. I don't know how anyone could go through with that.
It's all a matter of which one you think will be better in your life in the long run. Sometimes you have to value one life over another.
But Imagine yourself in that perspective. You'd have an unthinkable choice to make.
Since when does she care about perspective?
Well, maybe I would if you ever paid any attention to me.
Why do you even care about what I think?
Do you remember after our first deal? We went racing that day and left everyone else in the dust. It was one of the happiest days of my life.
I remember. But you've changed since.
So have you.
There's room for everyone to be happy. Everyone can win.
No. People like to think life is not a race. Life is a competition. You want to go to college? You gotta be smarter than the next guy. You want to get a job? There's 3 applicants in 1 position. Someone's gotta lose. Despite my penniless childhood, I got to the place I am, and I worked hard to get here. Everything needs to be rationalized according to money.
Is that the reason why you married me?
It's not fair. Why do I have to choose?
Sandra?
Sandra,
Sandra, what's wrong?
are you
Oh my god. Justin?
alright?
Hey,
Hey,
Sandra.
what's happening?
Hey,
Can you
Sandra.
hear me?
Christine?
Christine!
I think she's having a heart attack.
Justin, are you okay? Justin!
Oh my god, Justin!
Sandra!
Sandra, are you
Sandra!
alright? Sandra, can you hear me? It's Hank!
What's
Sandra!
wrong?
Oh my god, Christine!
Christine, are you alright?
Oh my
Christine!
gosh. Christine!
What's wrong?
Call
Justin!
911! Justin!
Justin!